Hello everyone, Greg Gilbert here, here to talk about the NCAA today. We're going to talk about some general points, and then we're also going to talk about the registration process. So I'd like to start off with the general information. First of all, we have a lot of information on our high school guidance webpage, so check out the information there. This is just a video to help you with some of the general items and of course registration, but the web page is a great place to get resources. If you are thinking of being a Division I or Division II athlete, this applies to you. The NCAA, you have to register and be certified through the NCAA for those two levels of sports. If you're a Division III athlete, you do not have to go through a certification. They do encourage you to create a profile in case you ever just, at the end or during your senior year, you decide that you do want to participate in a Division I or Division II level sport, then you can easily transfer your profile page over to a certification page and get that taken care of. The page that I'm looking at right now is if you just Google NCAA, you're going to get one of the options will be high school porthole, and I'd like to show students and parents this particular page because let me move that over, because there's a lot of great resources here. So it's not where you're going to log in down here, but it's these tabs along the top that are super important for you. The first one I'm going to click on here is the resources page, and as you can see here, there's a lot of links here, tons and tons and tons of information, good information that you can look at, you can page through. There's resources here for counselors, but the majority of this information is for student athletes and for parents to make sure that you're getting the correct information. So I'm not going to click on a lot of tabs. We could spend hours on this particular page clicking through the different pages, but I really encourage you to come in here. You can see the academic requirements for Division I and Division II are here. Quick reference. The other tab that I want to point out on this particular page is the list of NCAA courses. If you click on that, it's super important that you know what classes you should be taking that qualify as NCAA qualifying courses. So if you put our school code in, which is 394085, and you hit search, this is going to take you over to the list of Owen J. Roberts classes that have been approved. You can see our grading scale is here. There is weighting for the honors and AP level courses. And then they are arranged by categories. Here you see English, and these are all the English classes that have been approved by the NCAA. The weighting is on the side if they're an AP or honors level weight because of what they're weighted here. Social studies is the next category, and you see math, and then our sciences, and the last category is additional courses, which typically are our language courses. So we work very hard to keep this up to date. This changes regularly, so it's important to look at it to see if things qualify before you go on there and take a class. If you have any questions, certainly talk to your guidance counselor to make sure that you're taking the right courses to qualify for the NCAA. Okay. So this is an example of, I just wanted to click on this quick to give you an example of the requirements for Division II. When you talk about requirements, you're talking about taking specific courses in certain areas. That relates to the previous page. This explains what a full qualifier is versus a partial qualifier, and then of course a non-qualifier. To qualify, it's a combination of your grade point average and your SAT or ACT scores. So the sliding scales are down here. There's two different scales, so it's important that when you're looking at this, you realize that this is a full qualifier scale on the left and a partial qualifier scale on the right. And then it has the grade point average and the corresponding SAT score. when you're looking at this, you should be looking at the new SAT requirement, not the old one. I don't think many folks took it before March of 2016. So the new SAT requirement is a little higher. So you want to make sure, you can see down here at the bottom of the 2.2 minimum, and then it's a 920 where it used to be an 840 down here. So it's quite a bit of a difference for a full qualifier. Now, it's important to point out that the grade point average that you have at Owen J. Roberts has nothing to do with the grade point average that the NCAA calculates. It's very important that you realize that only those core courses will be counted for grade point average, and the grade point average that is calculated here at the high school encompasses all of your classes, so it's quite a bit different, and the way it is calculated is very different as well. If we go back to that resources page here, I'm not sure exactly where they've hidden it, but there is a place where you can go in here and you can calculate your grade point average. How to calculate your grade point average is right here. This explains it, and they also have worksheets in here, so you can go in here and print out the worksheet and just jot down the classes you've taken or plan on taking. But how to calculate it, you can click here and it gives you all of the information. It's really pretty simple when it comes to the calculation. Okay, so let's move into the registration steps. So this is a page, it's a step-by-step registration page you can find very easily. Again, they talk about the certification account versus the profile page, some basic information here, and of course where to go to register. Okay, and this is the eligibilitycenter.org is where you're going to go to register. So I've already pulled up a tab with that information on it. Go back here, make sure that we're okay. So when you log on to that page, this is what you will see, and sometimes it's a little confusing. You don't have any of this information yet, and you won't be over here, so you need to sort of go down here to the registration part, and this is where they have the Division 1 and Division 2 and 3. This is the profile side, this is the create an account side, so we're going to assume that we're going to be at a Division 1 or Division 2 level, so we're going to create account. And this brings us to our next page, and it sort of talks about all the different things that we need to do. Step 1 here is creating an account. You're going to put your email address in, you're going to confirm it, and you're going to send it. When you send that, they will then send you an email with a confirmation code which you need to plug in. It's a verification code. The verification code will be plugged into your application. This year it's a $90 application fee, so you'll need to do the registration with the $90 application fee, and then just follow the steps that you need to go through here, and that will take care of the registration process. Now, the other pieces that go along with this, it's important to note that the ACT and SAT scores need to be sent by the student to the NCAA. Now, every college, when you send test scores, every college has a 4-digit code. And the NCAA has a 4-digit code, and you can see right here that code is 9999. So when you're calling College Board or you're calling the ACT, that's the code you're going to give them. The scores must come directly from those testing agencies to the NCAA. They won't accept them any other way. It does take a few weeks to get there, so make sure that you're sending them in a timely fashion and get those to the NCAA so they can start reviewing your information. You're going to also have an amateurism certification that's during the registration, and then again you're going to have a final amateurism certification in April of your senior year, and that's basically just to say that you didn't get paid to play almost as a professional at any point while you were in high school. Okay, the last piece of this, you see right here it says transcripts. You have to come down to the guidance office and request transcripts. We encourage you to ask for the transcripts in your junior year. At the end of your junior year, Mrs. Guarini will send out the transcripts to the NCAA. And if you have the registration done, the SAT or ACT scores on file with the NCAA, and when the transcripts arrive over the summer between your junior and senior year, the NCAA will begin reviewing your information, and then you can go on and track this. It's very important that after you go through the registration process, that you're tracking what's happening with your account on the NCAA. A lot of students don't go back and track that. They really do a good job now of posting exactly what they're counting, what your grade point average is, what they have for your official SAT or ACT scores, and really where you stand for both Division I and Division II certifications. So it's important that you follow up and you don't just register and then sort of walk away and forget about this, because if there is some sort of an issue or there's something missing, we want to make sure that we address that as soon as possible. So as far as this process, you can register anytime in high school. Usually the sophomore year is a good time to do the registration, requesting the transcripts in the junior year, and of course taking your SATs and ACTs during the junior year and having them sent directly to the NCAA really encompasses most of this process. So it is not a difficult process. You need to make sure that you're taking at least college prep or higher level classes. Again, reference that list because it's important that you're sure that you're taking the right classes. We're more than willing to help you with this in the guidance office, so don't hesitate to come down and see us. But that is pretty much the NCAA eligibility registration process, and good luck with that. If you have any questions, come and see us.